Hi everyone, it's Miss Patel. For this week's home learning task, we're going to connect all the topics that we've looked at this term, so this term 3. Now we know that in Year 8 we do a thematic study, so we look at themes every term. So the first term we were looking at empire and legacy. So we looked at the British Empire and we looked at slavery and all the impact of empire via immigration as well. Then in term 2 we looked at Lancashire and the wider world, and we looked at how Lancashire was connected to the wider world and all the history in Lancashire, okay, or most of it anyway. This term we're looking at improving rights, okay, so we're going to think about how we can join all these topics that we've done together. Right, so on the next slide, I'm going to put a template up, and on a A4 or A3 piece of paper, all you have to do, it doesn't have to be very neat, is copy the template, okay? So exactly where the words are, put that on your piece of paper, or you can just print out that slide if you want. And we're going to make some links between the topics, and I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? So this is the template. So in the middle, you can see you've got improving rights over here. That's our theme, and then we've got some topics that we've studied here, and you can add more if you want. This is just a basic version, so you can use your own imagination here. So we've got Boudicca's Rebellion, which was one of the first topics we studied. We've got the Tudor Queens. You can break this down further and look at different queens. We've got the Peterloo Massacre, which is what we did last week. We've got Chartism, and we've got women's suffrage. And when I say women's suffrage, we mean like suffragettes and the suffragists, okay? So we're going to think about how these are related. So first one, let's see how the women's suffrage is related to Chartism. There's lots and lots of links. I've just done a very basic version, so you can make more links than what you're about to see on the screen. So if we look at these two, think about how they are linked, okay? So the obvious one is that they both wanted the right to vote. Okay, so that is a link between them, so it's a similarity or how they are linked. You can also say that Chartism came first, and then, which is what inspired the women's suffrage. You can talk about the methods of protest, so they both use violence, but they also both use peaceful protests as well. Okay, there's a lot more that you can add, so I want you to think about what you've studied in the last few weeks and think about how you can make more links with that. Alternatively, you can also link women's suffrage to improving rights. So how did women's suffrage improve rights for women, or how did Chartism improve rights? Okay, the next one is Boudicca's Rebellion and looking at how that matches with Tudor Queens. So I've said it is women who were in positions of power who struggled, and you can take that further by looking at how they struggled, who they struggled against, what methods they used, etc. Okay, then we've got this one, Chartism, and how can that link to improving rights? So, for example, they used violence to improve rights. You could also say who they improved rights for, so working class men, and you can also say women's suffrage. A lot of women who were protesting would have been from working class backgrounds, etc. You can link Chartism to Peterloo Massacre because that was that was linked. Same aim, rights for working class men, okay, particularly the right to vote. Okay, so you can make more links, and at the end your page should look with lots of arrows and annotations and little bubbles, thought bubbles that you can think of. Okay, what I'd like you to do is just take a photograph of your work and then send it over and show my homework for me to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing all your wonderful work. Okay, thank you.